यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Good morning, my dear loving children. I am before you with some fresh ideas, new words, synonyms and antonyms. And mind you, because of the newness of these words, I also try to ventilate few new ideas before you. Rather, we share some of the feelings which are not only burning topics, but which are totally in germane with congruence of thoughts and thought process which is prevalent in our country. Now, let us start our usual topics, that is word. Today the word which I have selected, as it's very clear, is astonished. The word is astonished. Astonished. A-S-T-O-N-I-S-H-E-D. Astonished. Affected with sudden a great wonder or surprise. I was astonished at seeing a cow wandering down Main Street. Now, can you ever imagine that Delhi is, for instance, just example, take the example, the main road, which is the main road of your town, the city, and you find main road is normally motorable. It is motored by maybe by the commuters, by the traffic, the heavy traffic, and suddenly you find that a cow, very innocent animal cow, is wandering on the main street. So, affected with sudden and a great wonder or surprise. It was something like, one really stand surprised as to how it happened. It might break his leg. And this is not a usual place. This is not a meadow. This is not a place where the wandering cow should be seen on the main street. So you are really surprised. Now, you have imagined something very great of a place, very extraordinary of a place, and where you go and suddenly find that these kind of happenings are normally the usual occurrence in a small place. So that situation also give you kind of feeling which you are totally amazed. You live totally surprised by yourself. Wow, how can I imagine that? Not always in the sense of appreciation, but in sense of deprecation also. You stand degraded in your thinking. Oh, how is it possible? So the word which we are going to use is astonished. I was really astonished. I didn't expect this thing from you. Now, just imagine a situation. A teacher is thinking very high of you, and one fine day, you start misbehaving with your most loved teacher. What would be the reaction like? He would be totally astonished. And teacher complains to somebody, I didn't expect this thing from my most famous, not exactly famous, very studious student. And a studious student giving this kind of, expression or the kind of overtures or the behavioral pattern was so changed that really astonished the teacher. So, it astonishes at seeing a cow wandering down the main streets. Now, how can you use this word? I was really astonished to see that the most studious guy, he is not paying any attention now. इसको हिंदी में रूपांतरण करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? मैं तो बिल्कुल सरप्राइज था कि कैसे हो गया ये तो होना नहीं चाहिए था. मतलब which takes you by surprise. That kind of replacement of the word is called astonished. Now let us see some other synonyms. As I told you, the word is amazed. something which is out of blue, something which you didn't expect. I was amazed to see that in pre-monsoon showers I had already heard of, but how can I see, incessantly rain for 3 or 4 days in the month of April and May? So it was really amazing. And you can use this in present continuous or I was amazed. Present perfect. I was amazed to see this. Amazed means I was totally surprised. आप जैसे आप बोलते हो कि मैं इन दृश्यों को देखने के बाद बिल्कुल पुलकित सा रह गया. It's an expression which is in affirmative, which is in a positive sense. और मैं इनकी हरकतों को देखने के बाद मैं बिल्कुल स्तब्ध रह गया. एक वर्ड है हिंदी में स्तब्ध रह जाना. Taken by surprise, and which has no roots of any imagination. So that word is called amazed, astounded. Of course, if the words are figuring as synonyms, so it is having nearly or the same kind of meaning. The meaning is almost similar, identical. I was astounded. Something which really, your cognitive, imaginative process is taken by surprise. Astounded to see the behavioral change in a student then and now. Took you by surprise. Awestruck. Now, my dear children, I would like to discuss something very pertinent with you. These days we are awestruck that everyone is thinking for going to Kota. I have to study in Kota. What is there so great about Kota? Most of the children, they have those stories that those who go to Kota, they are very, it becomes very facilitated for them to compete for their coveted goal. That is what their thinking is. I don't say going to Kota is wrong or right, but I have my apprehensions that the time schedule which you are going to disturb, because in the last session I had talked very extensively on the importance of NCERT books. If any child really adhere to the principle of simple reading and consistent reading, reading which is sumptuous in nature and very absorbing character, then I think that child will definitely do much better in his life or her life. So we are awestruck, I am using the same word, awestruck, when having spent so much of money from your parents, after sometimes you find that you stand nowhere. Neither your performance was good in class 12, because in my school also I have seen most of the children who are going to Kota or any other specialized place, so-called specialized place, ready for or designated for IIT preparations. When they come and fare in the examination, 12th examination, especially the 12th board, practical, they are very, very hapless. They are hapless children, and they sometimes, go totally berserk. They are nervous also. So that looks, that kind of scenario keeps you awestruck. A kind of situation where you don't know how to react and how to respond back. When you have something very high imagination about a place or a person or a boy, and when you find something contrary in form of result, then you get awestruck. The word is awestruck, which you have not prepared for, which you are not at all prepared for, or thinking on the lines which the form and the format of results they have given. Bowled over, you must have seen in the cricket match also, Karsan Gabri bowling or Harbhajan Singh bowling, and the batsman was bowled over. Means there are 3 wickets, the ball strikes at the wicket, and he is called bowled over. Bowled over means what? Have you seen any batsman coming after getting bowled over when he is out? He didn't expect. He is standing on his crease and a leg spinner moves the ball from left to right and he is bowled. And the batsman is totally awestruck. He is taken by surprise. He was thinking ball would go as a white ball. But what happened? The ball came a straight way. It just took a reverse turn and he bowled the wicket. So, similarly in our thinking also, you had a different imagination of a person, but you get a different result on contrary, which is not as per your expectation. So, the expression is, I was bowled over, he was bowled over, means taken by surprise. Now, let us look some other words. Dumbfounded. Dumb. Bilkul. Acha. You don't say anything. Mere expression. Your overtures. I didn't expect that. How it had happened. I was not ready to hear these kind of nasty or nefarious answers. So, it is called dumbfounded. आप कुछ बोलते भी नहीं हो, लेकिन बिना बोले आप सब कुछ बतला देते हो. That is called dumbfounded. Dumbstruck, say. Now listen, one word which you have some of. Flabbergasted. 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 Very nice word. And naturally it looks when you use this word in day-to-day life. I was really flabbergasted. Means surprised, dumbfounded. You were taken aback. You were not prepared to listen to this kind of scenario or undergo that kind of circumstances. When you have a different kind of imagination. Suppose in your family, in your house, अपने घर में एक छोटा भाई है आपका और आप ड्राइंग रूम में जाते हो और बच्चा आपको गाली देना शुरू करता है. कल तक जो बच्चा अभी 1 घंटे पहले तक जो कि आपको भैया भैया बोलता था, अचानक ये स्टार्ट्स अब्यूजिंग. इसको इन इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं? You were taken by surprise. I was really flabbergasted. Shohan was really flabbergasted on the behavior of his younger brother. Quite. Now, in the present scenario, I'll see that Indian forces and the Chinese forces are standing face to face. It looks quite flabbergasted. What is the behavior? After all, what was the point of provocation? That the Chinese forces, without any provocation, they are standing face to face. It was really a flabbergasting situation. Flabbergasting means something which it is beyond your imagination to think. The kind of changed action, the behavior, action on the part of the Chinese forces or the behavior on the part of the younger brother, up so on. So flabbergasted. If you use these words, it looks not only nice, but enhances your personality weight. It enhances your character. The expression shows what kind of intellectual arena you are living in. Whether you are in this category of intellectual or you are still, somehow managing. Beach mein ho. If you want to excel yourself, your word power is the only, what is called propeller away from the gravity. What is gravity? Gravity which keeps you, it attracts you toward the negativity. Gravity is always not used in the negative sense. But suppose I am not able to come out of my stammering. If I am not able to come out of the shell, so that is called, you have to have that kind of escape velocity. A kind of velocity at a particular point, the velocity is so optimum level that you have to eject yourself from that atmospheric temperature and pressure. So the cocoonization of your intellectual stuff you have to come out of it. You have to say, no, yeah, I have to rise up the occasion. So that no more, it is not only time taking, but it should be always, time enduring. And that time should be worth fructifying in nature. Shocked, stunned, stupefied, thunderstruck, these are simpler words. So it is very nice that you should use slightly complicated words so that your construction of sentence become nicer and nice to look at. Let us look some more words. Blindsided. When somebody expresses something the kind of character, the kind of behavioral manifestation you were not aware of till now. So that is a blindsided. I was really blindsided. I only knew the positives. But today I was blindsided by seeing the negatives of this boy. I could not believe he could ever come to this point from where I could judge about him that he is not a good boy. So that is the blindsided. Startling revelations. Startling. Shocking. What were those revelations? Something which you don't know. How can I forgive him for the startling, kind of treachery which he has done, perpetrated against my country? He has revealed the secrets of my military forces to the opponents, to the enemies. So it was really startling, which is not good, but which is very damaging. Startling. Dismayed, surprised, aghast. AGHAST, aghast. ऐसा हो गया क्या? ऐसा भी होता है क्या? I was left aghast. All of a sudden, you find a news, somebody very near and dear of yours has passed away. What would be your reaction? You just stand aghast, speechless, thoughtless, what to do, what not to do, whom to call, whom to avoid, whether to cry or to talk to someone. That is called aghast. AGHAST, aghast. Hundreds of words, plethora of words which you can use day-to-day life. Agape, odd, awesome, open-mouthed, wide-eyed, wide-mouthed, wide-eyed. हाँ? ऐसा भी होता है क्या? This kind of experience. Wide mouth. You open. These are the gestures. You find someone who is very near and dear to you. You come home. Somebody gives you bad news. He's no more. That kind of feeling. Wide mouth. Open mouthed. You are totally flabbergasted at the death of someone very near, dear to you. Now listen some more words of synonyms. Now let us come back to antonyms. Synonyms, of course, by and large, these are the same words which are reflected here. I believe it is all clear. Now, astonished, antonyms. There you will startle. You are open-eyed, open-mouthed, khule. Something which really, gives a kind of stunning and something which touches your impulses. But here, unimpressed, not very startling, not very eye-catching, not worth mouth opening, not worth eye opened, like that. Disinterested, not interested. Your action or reaction was of no significance. It had no meaning at all. Incurious, there it was curious. Curious of both the sides. A good boy behaving in a bad manner. It was a curious moment. It happened by them. Has it perpetrated by that boy who was so nice boy? Your cognitive process is working. Here it's not. Antonyms. Indifferent, unconcerned, irrespective of what he does. It is not mind catching. It is not eye catching. It is not cynosure of all eyes. It is not worth observing, not worth remarking. Totally indifferent, totally incurious. Curious is something where your curiosity, आपकी उत्सुकता, कौतूहलता पिक्चर में आती है. Incurious means आप कौतूहल नहीं हो, आप बिल्कुल ऐसे ही सूखे के सूखे बैठे हो. Uninterested, dispassionate. My dear children, I gave you word day before yesterday, passionate. Passionate means your cognitive impact. You feel empathetic towards something. But here, when antonyms of the word, this is there, you are impassionate. You are not at all concerned. Passion aspect is missing. So that is the antonyms of astonished. Emotionless, impassive, unemotional, bored, jaded. Jaded means ekdam thakara, totally worn out. So mind you, when the word astonished comes, astonished means somehow it is having the content of commotion. COMMOTION, commotion, कौतूहलता से भरा पूरा. लेकिन इसका एंटोनिम्स क्या हो गया? कोई क्यूरियोसिटी नहीं. It is not having that commotion aspect into its existence. I am talking about the word. So my dear loving children, this is I am just giving you igniting, the point of ignition, and how to ignite your process of thinking. You have lots of energy, you are the storehouse of energy, provided you just ignite that and ignite it in right time. Once you grow up and you attain the stage of adulthood, as it is, you will have lots of disinterested moments to justify your ignorance, to justify why didn't you speak better. But leave those excuses, rise, awake and wake up. Wake up to learn new words, practice learning synonyms, antonyms, and start constructing lots of sentences and use it amongst your friends. You just see the magic. Thank you very much.
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि